Hi, everybody. Thank you for checking in to the Near Disney YouTube channel. We've got something pretty cool today. A lot of communities won't know what I'm talking about, but it's so fruitful, so great. And so instead of me talking more about it, I wanted to thank Dee Bellavati, our YouTube producer, for putting this package together, along with Kathleen Sipio. She is the Executive Director for the Celebration Foundation. I think if you sit back and relax, you're going to see that this is quite extraordinary. And of course, it would have to be Walt Disney himself, the Walt Disney Group, that would have figured out that this is an important component of a community. Enjoy, and I'll be back at the end in case there's any questions. Let me know where you're watching from, if you don't mind, in the comments, and I'll be back at the end. Enjoy. Hey everybody, it's Kim Hawk, and I'm known as YouTube's fairy godmother of real estate. But more importantly today, I am a Celebration resident that is super proud of a friend of mine, Kathleen, as she's the Executive Director for the Celebration Foundation. We have so many things that we want to talk about. Make sure you're aware of all the great work that the Celebration Foundation is doing. All right, so anyway, Kathleen, you want to say hello?
I do. Thanks, Kim. And yes, I love your weekly podcast because you tell me everything that's going on in the community. Because sometimes I'm just singular focused on the Celebration Foundation and all that we do in Celebration and beyond.
Yeah.
We are almost 30 years old next year.
I was just going to say the same thing. Almost 30 years. Can you believe it?
I cannot. It is 3 decades of making a difference. And when we moved here in 2009, I was a volunteer with the Celebration Foundation.
Very good.
That is how I found the foundation. And I started with the Holiday Home Tour Committee. And I was officially known as their reindeer because I put all the directional signs in the lawns telling people which homes to go to the first weekend in December.
Oh my goodness. Well, and that is such a huge event, and it raises good money for good causes. You want to walk us through a little bit what that's about?
Absolutely. So it's Christmas in July. So I thought everyone might be thinking about the holidays. And it is the first weekend in December. It started with the Women's Club of Celebration, and that was holiday homes. It was women putting their homes on the tour, decorating inside and out, and letting a couple hundred people walk through their homes and get decorating ideas and see the beautiful real estate and landscape that we have in Celebration. And then it went to the Garden Club of Celebration one year, and tour attendees got to just walk through gardens in Celebration. And that was wonderful. And then it landed in the Celebration Foundation's event calendar. And what was added was a magical marketplace. And that was really for people that loved to decorate, but didn't really want to put their home on the tour. So what it really is, it is residents and businesses in the community that call the foundation and they say, I want to decorate and donate a 7.5 slim flocked tree with a Harry Potter theme. And they buy all the decorations and they plan all year. And then the first week of December, they come to the location, they decorate together, and then they turn to the foundation and say, put a price on it, and all the proceeds will go to your programs and community organizations. And that has become stop number 1 on the Holiday Home Tour. You can buy a tree, you can buy a holiday tablescape, you can buy over 300 baskets were sold last year. And the baskets range from anything from toys, books, games, to champagne buckets with champagne glasses, just with a holiday theme. And it's all donated by residents and organizations in celebration to support the foundation and the event.
And I have been a part of this, is participating in buying a good majority of all that good stuff. I swear it is what I decorate my home with during the holidays, because I know it goes to a good cause, but also, Kathleen, just because it's phenomenal. I don't think if people have not been to it before, they have no idea how well it is done. And it's so extraordinary. Even things like if you're looking to buy gifts for, my husband's team, for the holidays, I feel very confident I can walk in there and there's all these gorgeous baskets and everything, and it's going to be so well done. So the trees, like you said, I believe I have a couple of different table settings of from you guys, because you just can't resist it.
Yes. And last year I was fortunate enough, there was actually a chartered bus that came from over in Hernando County, if I said that right, Hernando County.
Yes, you did.
It's like over by Tampa, Port Richey, and so forth. And they brought 75 women from the YMCA over just to see the tour. One husband got roped in as well. And they ran into a little traffic. And so when they pulled up to stop number 1, they said, "We only have a short amount of time. Tell us the best houses to go to." And the reality is, all the houses are the best. They're all different shapes and sizes, and the homeowners just set the bar so high with how they decorate. And it's a lot about tradition. It's family traditions. I remember when I was a volunteer on the tour, checking people in, one townhome in Artisan, they had a beautiful quilt hanging in the dining room on the wall. And it had a holiday theme. And the homeowner shared with me that it was the one Christmas that their son was stationed in Afghanistan, and he could not be with them in Christmas. And he sent them that quilt.
Oh.
And he hasn't missed a Christmas since. But that is so special to them. So it's those stories about family traditions and the decorations that really make the tour so unique.
I agree. And I remember that bus because I was helping Helena, who had her home with a bunch of nutcrackers, which was so spectacular. That story too, right, Kathleen?
Yes. There were nutcrackers everywhere. I know she knows how many she has, but you could still be in there today counting. And I don't think you would come up with the total. They were in all shapes and sizes, some taller than people, some small, all with a different theme on them. Everywhere you turned, there were nutcrackers. I don't think there was room for Helena and her family.
Exactly. And what was beautiful that day too, Celebration is a town, and I think Walt Disney would be smiling upon what he's about ready to hear, but there's a creative giant that her name's Holly Adler. She lives in town and she creates these incredible nutcrackers, of which I think Helena owns about 50% of them, but maybe not them. But anyway, they got to meet each other for the first time on the tour.
Oh, see, it's stories like that, right?
Yeah.
And those women on that bus, as we drove from house to house, I was telling about all other things, Celebration, telling them about Celebration Lifelong Learning, telling them about the women's club, telling them about the tennis courts and so forth. And they kept saying to me, "But where's your YMCA?" And I said, "We don't need a YMCA because we're community, right? Our Y is the walking trails. Our Y is the group gatherings that we do to make a difference." And when people come to Celebration, I constantly hear, "You are so lucky to live here."
Yes.
And I couldn't agree more. But they get to really see the inside of the real people that live here, the inside of the homes and the heart, right? The heart.
That's right. And I've had homes on the tour over the course of the super number of years that it's been in there, but you might be looking for some volunteers this year, right? Because I know we're saying Christmas in July now, but now's about the time you start reaching out saying, are there any homeowners interested in putting their home in the tour? Is that correct?
That is correct. So if you want to put your home on the tour, my home has personally been on the tour, and I loved it. If you want to share your decorations inside and outside, we've been more than happy to talk you through the process, and let you know how it is done every year. Right now we have 7 stops confirmed on the tour. 10 seems to be the magic number that everyone's happy with. Again, you don't have to do the tour all in one day. You can do some homes once on Saturday and then come back on Sunday, because we want you to meander through the streets. We want you to go have a drink or a cup of coffee or a pastry in our business or some ice cream, because we want you to feel a part of the celebration community the first weekend in December. So yes, we're still looking for some holiday homes to be on the tour, and we are always open to a creative resident or organization that wants to do a team building, that wants to call and say, we want to donate a tree, and this is our theme. Last year, Advent Health Celebration donated a large 9-foot tree, and the theme was It's a Small World, and they were unique 3D ornaments made for that tree. And they did that as a team and delivered it and set it up. And of course, it sold.
Yes.
And then our community elves delivered it to its new home on the Monday after the event.
I love it. Amanda Maggard, the CEO at Advent Health Celebration. Boy, she's a powerhouse, right?
Yes, she is.
So it's beautiful because coming up on 30 years, and you see all these people with their hearts just wide open saying, you know, I want to give, I feel blessed, so I want to be a blessing to others. And Kathleen, you certainly have done that, because not only do you have this event with the foundation, you encourage something called Celebration Lifelong Learning. You want to talk a little bit about what that is?
Yes. So that is going to school still with no grades. We believe in connection and curiosity. So it is 2 sessions every year. And the courses are all taught by volunteer instructors. And what they do is they submit a proposal to the Celebration Lifelong Learning Steering Committee, and they say, I would love to teach people how to tour Europe on a beer budget. And I think I can give them some tips. And we approve it. We set up the time. It is a program that there is a $50 membership per term. But included in that membership, we have Club Week. And that is the first week every month, all of the 12 months, where you can go to the Recipe Club, the Travel Club, the Brain Club, the Wellness Club. So you still check in. And we've done art classes. We've done history classes. And it's really, again, residents wanting to share their knowledge, their travels, their expertise on something. And it's socialization and great information. So that is a program at the Celebration Foundation as well.
I love that. So I had the opportunity to teach one of those classes. It's been a while ago, but it was because I was working with Michael Eisner when they were thinking about creating celebrations. So I was able to, as a celebration resident, share how that process happened. And then it was very sweet, because then years after that, they asked me to invite Michael back so that he could tell everybody what his thoughts were on celebration. I think it was the 20th or the 25th anniversary. And it was the 20th. And he said it was the most successful project he believes that he had ever worked on. And I wasn't sure what he was going to say, because if you know Michael Eisner, you can't edit him. And but he said, you know, because Jane had named the town Celebration, and he said when he drove back into the town, he saw the white picket fences, and he saw how people interacted, the community, which you were so much involved in and have the heart behind it, that it really was the most successful project. And you know, He did a lot of movies and theme parks and all kinds of stuff. So that was a good thing. So I also know you do other things like Learning Without Hunger. You want to talk about that?
Yes, so we do several programs and events, and as the executive director, I'm not allowed to have a favorite one. However, this one is Learning Without Hunger. When we moved here in 2009, we saw firsthand the food insecurity that students were experiencing, that were sitting in the desk right next to our second grade daughter. There was a huge disparity. These students were living in weekly motels on 192 and really relied on the breakfast and lunch that was provided by the school district. And I explained this program that if you can leave work at 5 o'clock on Friday and not eat again till you return to work at 9 a.m. on Monday, then you would understand what those students go through. So the Celebration Foundation in 2011 formed Osceola Connected to hear from all across the county how we could work together to help these students, and most specifically with the school district, because we believe you need to meet people where they are. And then education could help them get out of the cycle of poverty. But quite frankly, they don't care what 4 times 4 equals if they're hungry.
Right.
So the Celebration community, small group, of course, I say like-hearted people move here, like-hearted people. We
Yes.
come from different areas, politics, religion, but we are like-hearted. So a small group formed Celebration Cares 34747. It's Barbara and George Moran, Robert Schwartz, and they started the weekly meal packs that went home with the students every Friday to help them get through the weekend. I had about 10 items in it. Then the students were taking little rolling suitcases home at spring break and the holidays to make sure that they still had food. And then when that disbanded, they came to the foundation and asked us to take it on. And at that time, they were doing about 5 schools. Last year, the foundation supported 22 schools in Osceola County. Third quarter, we ordered 118,000 pounds of food. And how it works is we order it wholesale in pallets, gets delivered to Osceola County School District warehouse. So we're in partnership with them. And then a school will contact the foundation and say, can you send me a pallet? And the school district delivers it. And then pre-pandemic, we had volunteers go and pack the food. We're just getting back into that again. And we call them Hunger Heroes because they go to the schools every Thursday or Friday, pack up how many packs are needed. And then the teachers discreetly give them to the students or before they board the school bus. Contains chili, tuna fish, peanut butter and jelly. It tries to be as healthy as it can be, but they're hungry. We're steaking vegetables in with vegetable soup. And it makes a difference. These children depend on those weekend meal packs. In the high schools, we've started a new formula. And when I say we, there's other organizations that we're all working together. Second Harvest, Embrace of Celebration, the Rotary Club of Celebration. Again, we're like-hearted. But up in the high school, they started a market. It's open 2 days a week and no questions asked. If you're hungry, you go in and you shop. I was fortunate enough to go one day to see what the kids were putting in their shopping baskets. And everyone was taking peanut butter, but no one was taking jelly. And I was raised on peanut butter and jelly. So I asked the kids, I'm like, why are you not taking jelly? And they're like, it's protein now. We want to eat protein, and peanut butter is protein. But they love the Chef Boyardee. They love the granola bars, cup of noodles, and they're hungry and they're still growing, right? So that program is supported by a lot of individual donors. I always say our donors really love supporting students to seniors. Advent Health Celebration annually contributes $40,000 or more to that program, and they give us volunteers as well. And then the Osceola County Board of Commissioners give us a large grant. So it's working together. It really is.
Oh, that's fantastic. And then you were also talking about when you're talking about the kids, I was thinking about the scholarships that the foundation does as well, right?
Yes. So we do, we used to do 15 $1,000 scholarships annually. 10, one requirement is that you attend Celebration High School. And the other 5 are that you either studied the arts or are going to continue to study the arts. And then recently we added a memorial scholarship for Congresswoman Patricia Schroeder.
Oh, love her. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about the arts, I know one of the biggest and most successful things that I've seen in Celebration is your wonderful concert series that you have. Even our dear friend and neighbor, Brad Fischetti from LFO, I believe, was one of the concerts this past year. Yes?
Yes. Yes. So the concert series is the longest running program of the Celebration Foundation. It's going to be 25 years old next year. Yes. And when we have local talent right here, right? So Brad Fischetti, Zoe Tyler.
Zoe's awesome. Yeah.
Harry Lavini,
Yeah.
right? Right in our backyard, right? So that is wonderful. We do 5 concerts a year. We typically are at Community Presbyterian Church. That's a great partnership that we have. Yeah. And we've gone outside a few times at Lakeside because the venue is so beautiful. We just have to depend on the weather. And then when we have very large groups, which we will be returning February 9th of 2026, the Vienna Boys Choir is returning to Celebration.
So good.
And we will be at Corpus Christi Church for that concert. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. And then Thriving in Place as we get older in Celebration. So when Rod and I first moved here in the early days, I think I was in my 30s. And so now I'm 62 going on 63. And so I'm thinking, gosh, isn't it lovely that it's a community of thinking as we get older, they do want you to thrive in place. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So Thriving in Place was formed to keep adults living independently in their homes as long as they desire, but bringing them out into a program that provides socialization, information, and transportation. Wow. Because a lot of our adult children don't live in Celebration. They're scattered all over the globe. So what if you need a ride to the doctors? What if you need someone to pick up something at the pharmacy? So that's what Thriving in Place does. We have volunteer drivers that all go through their background check and their applications and so forth. That really, it's neighbors helping neighbors. Yeah. It could be what we think something is so small. A hurricane's coming and this demographic needs help moving their patio furniture in. Right. And then moving it back out. And then it's information. We do lunch and learns every Friday. Big partner is Advent Health Celebration to keep them abreast of everything that's happening in healthcare, to keep them healthy. And then socialization. They have a monthly calendar that I could not keep up with. They have called the office and said, Kathleen, I want to go to everything. So you'll have to stop adding stuff. But the neat part about that program is we're just getting to know and love every single one of them, right? We're almost at 100 members. But during the pandemic, we got to know their adult children because they weren't just an emergency number in a file. We ended up adding them to emails and Zoom, bingo, where we would see children and grandchildren. And now, remember when our parents used to nag us? Did you go to exercise class? Did you go to the library? Well, now these adult children have that monthly calendar I was telling you about. So now they nag their parents. Mom, did you go to chair yoga today? Because they know, they have information. So it's really just, again, neighbors helping neighbors, spending time together, connecting, and just when someone needs something, there's somebody there to answer the phone and help.
I love that. So what's the age? What age are people with that starting at?
So it's 50 and up. And you could be just a short-term disability.
Yeah.
And just join. We have snowbirds just join for the time that they're here with us. It's really just having somebody to help you when you need it.
Yeah. Somebody that just needs to reach out and say, I need help. I love that.
Yeah.
So I can share with you, one of the things when people buy a home or sell a home here, actually it's when you sell your home, there's a contribution that goes to Celebration Foundation. And as soon as, because on the line item, the title, people, they'll be like, what's this $580 or whatever it is? And once I explain it, I don't even have to say 2 or 3 sentences. People are like, absolutely, I'm so happy to contribute. And it's because of all this beautiful work that you and your team are doing. So we wanted to say thank you to you guys, because this really isn't available. We talk about the 25-mile radius around Cinderella Castle, and I don't see this at other locations. And so this is really quite magical. And one of the things too that we've shared, there's fun things too, like porch parties that you've encouraged people to come out to. And then there's also some very deep, it's gonna make me cry.
I'll say it for you. So first of all, thank you for all that you do. My team is phenomenal. They don't look at the clock. They have the biggest hearts and the smallest bodies, and they love what they do. They have passion and purpose. But we had 294 volunteers. We have an army of hearts that really do it all, and they do it so well because they are fueled by the passion and the purpose and their community and their love of community and each other, which is extremely rare. When we do community connections, when I'm with CROA, CCDD, and Kanoa, and we want to talk to new residents as they come in and just kind of tell them about that alphabet soup and the different entities, I ask everyone, raise your hand if you've lived somewhere with an HOA before. And most people raise their hands. And then I say, keep your hand up if you ever lived anywhere with a community foundation. And everybody's hands come down.
Right.
So it is a recipe for something so unique and beautiful. And yes, we do events, and it's a lot about connection. But again, I can't have a favorite program or a favorite event. However, when I started with the foundation in 2019, Gloria Neese, the executive director prior to me, left me a beautiful timeline of events for the whole year planned out and the budget. And she said, you just need to just do all this the first year and you'll be fine. And I never knew about the annual Memorial Garden Remembrance Ceremony. And I live in Artisan Park. So every night and every day when I leave, I see, because it's right before the entrance to Artisan Park. And that event is for anyone that's purchased a memorial tile. So they're pillars with memorial tiles on them, honoring loved ones that have passed, are invited that first Saturday in November to come and visit the garden. And the beds of flowers are taken care of by the Garden Club of Celebration, and they're beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. And there'll be days that I drive by and there'll be a little lawn sign in, the Celebration Garden Club currently working, and they're in there working. And we just play instrumental music, and we have a pastor in the community, and we rotate between all of the churches, and they speak about grief and love. And then we open the microphone for the residents to come up and talk about their loved one. And every year, I am in awe of their ability to tell a story, to laugh, cry, and share with us something about their loved one. And I look forward to that every year.
Yes. And you and I lost our fathers this past year. And so I thought of you. Actually, it was the 1 year anniversary of my father's passing on July 12th. And there's just a sisterhood when something like that in particular happens. But then when you are able to know that first Saturday of November, like you said, like minds, like souls are coming together and wanting to honor your loved ones. It's such a beautiful thing. So celebration from birth until your passing. I think you guys have got it covered. And I just wanted to say what a beautiful spirit soul you are. We are very grateful. We're very honored. And so it's such a great thing to have you at the helm. And I see it firsthand. I see your team working hard, like you said. I see the volunteers that love being a part of it. And I wanted to personally thank everyone that contributes in and is never questioned. I mean, thousands of people that I've helped with homes and stuff immediately say, yes, we're in. We want to pay towards this. And then you guys make it fruitful. You make it fruitful. Yeah.
Well, the other thing about thank you very much. It does not feel like work because it's my home, right? It's my home. But the first weekend in December, the one thing we did add, before you enter stop number 1, you get an opportunity to walk through our giving trail. And it's just merely some signs that tell you where the proceeds of that fundraising event go throughout the community. So it'll tell you that it went to the Boys and Girls Club. This much went to Celebration PTA to help the families in transition children's shop at the books fair. So you get to see the actual results of the event and where the giving went. So it really is community and us all working together. And who doesn't love Christmas and the holidays? And
well, especially when my friend has her Santa hat on. I love it. And you probably jingle bells. Kathleen was even highlighted, I think, on a special TV program. And so hopefully we'll be able to share a little bit about that. But for those of you that are interested in having your house be considered in there, what is there a telephone number, Kathleen, or do they go to celebrationfoundation.org?
You can always email us at staff@celebrationfoundation.org. You can stop in the office and visit us. We're right on Sycamore, Suite 110, right behind the Columbia Restaurant in the Seminole Building. Or you can call 407-566-1234.
Awesome. And then don't forget, you guys, to go and get all of your wonderful holiday gifts and decorate your homes, and you'll know that money's going to a good cause. And then also, we're applauding the creativity of neighbors that know how to do this stuff.
Yes. We are.
Are there any final words you'd like to say, Kathleen? But otherwise, I think it's been a very productive and educational time together. And I thank you for your time.
Agreed. I thank you. And I could not imagine living anywhere else than Celebration. And thank you for having us. Thank you for supporting the Celebration Foundation. And thank you for all you do in our community.
Thank you, Kathleen. Celebration Florida, where everything is special, including the Celebration Foundation. All right, guys, please make sure you subscribe and like to the Near Disney YouTube channel. We have a Monday night show dedicated to Celebration, but we talk about Central Florida throughout the week. And we're super excited to talk about awesome things like the Celebration Foundation. All right. Bye, guys. And Merry Christmas, right? And happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's Castle, because this is truly a magical place to live. Truly is a magical place to live, and I thank you guys so much for sticking with us. I think we got a lot of great information. I believe that there's probably a lot of people that are watching from outside of Celebration, trying to figure out what part of Central Florida that you want to move to. And the Celebration Foundation is something you're not going to find in other sectors of Central Florida. So it was a real honor. I want to thank Dee Bellabody for doing such a great job of putting that package together. Obviously, Kathleen is an awesome leader. It's nice that she's also a resident of Celebration. Don't forget, on Monday nights, we do a show on the town that Disney built, 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. My Realtor Dream Team at 7 p.m. does a show on the 25-mile radius around Cinderella Castle. And then on Friday, we try to bring some type of content to you that you can keep long-term. So that's what we did. I don't see any questions other than people just saying hello and, hey, Merry Christmas in July. Yeah, happy holidays in July. I love that. If we can ever help you with any real estate needs, please, that's what we do as our mainstay. We'd love to help you as a buyer or seller anywhere in Central Florida. My number is 407-808-9845. I own a real estate company in downtown Celebration called Florida Emotion Realty with another group, and we love what we do. So I appreciate it. Once again, I don't see any questions other than people giving me thumbs up and thank yous. All right, very good, you guys. Well, until we see you again, enjoy your weekend. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.